Hi, it's my pleasure to present Mining Ventures. We're a fully financed development company looking to build Brazil's third largest gold mine. We have 2 million ounces of reserves to start with an exceptional land package that we'll look to explore over time. Mining is a relatively young company, founded 2 years ago, but we come from the founders of Mining Services, and with the backing of that team, have essentially 15 years of experience building mines for other third-party mining companies. Each one of these mines are 400,000 ounce producers performing quite well. So we're looking to create Mining Ventures as a platform to become the next intermediate gold producer. So in the span of 2 years, we founded the company. We made the acquisition of Tocantinzinho from Eldorado in October of 21. Since then, we updated the feasibility study, which allowed us to go and secure the full financing to build this project. So we did $481 million financing package in July and made a construction decision in September of this year. So the feasibility study that we updated in February is quite recent. We estimated a $458 million capex to build the project, which will give us, on average, 175,000 ounces of production over 10.5 years. So this is a very recent study, allows us to capture inflation that we've seen in the market, and we're very confident in the capital cost number that we have. Brazil, for us, has a lot of similarities to projects we've done elsewhere in the Guyana Shield, such as Omai, Marion, Rosebel, all high rainfall environments. So we're quite used to building and operating in the Amazon. This project is located in the state of Pará, which is the second largest mining state in Brazil. So they're very supportive of mining, have very good policies to attract investment in the region. Eldorado had done good work in the past that we were able to expand on. They did many of the permitting applications in the past, so it gave us visibility to construction in a very short time frame. We have no indigenous communities around our project, no one to relocate in our project footprint, nothing impeding us from advancing. The $481 million package that we put in place essentially provides us full funds to build the project, and we've actually built in a $43 million cash buffer to which we add our contingency as part of our capex for a total of $81 million buffer in our financing package. Franco-Nevada will be providing us a bulk of this financing package, just over $350 million, $250 from a stream, $75 in terms of a term loan, and they took a 10% equity stake in the company. Our other significant investors include La Mancha, who took a 25% interest in the company, and Eldorado, from which we bought the project, reinvested $20 million in this last financing. So this project is a single open pit operation with a good grade of 1.31 grams per ton and a very low strip ratio of 3.4 life of mine. We generate a $622 million NPV at $1,600 gold, and generally have about $100 million NPV uplift for every $100 price in increase in the price of gold. We've been advancing our detail engineering on the project. We're about 37% complete, which has allowed us to make the procurement for all the major packages for the project. So essentially the full process plant has been procured at this point, and allowing us to start construction in the field. We have $148 million committed already into the project. So with that, we're very comfortable with our capex, seeing how that tracks really well to our feasibility study budget. We've already received the first pieces of our mining fleet. We have 4 trucks, 1 large excavator, and other support equipment that have been mobilized to site and have been put to work just this month in November. So this allows us to start our pre-production activities in the open pit. And we'll be using the mining fleet to deliver waste to build our tailings facility as well at a very low cost. So this site is remote. We will have a camp facility on site. Currently, we're working out of our exploration camp, which has 370 beds, and now we're building our permanent camp facility, which will have up to 1,200 beds on site. So what you see in the bottom right is some of the permanent infrastructure we've already started to build since September. We have currently 427 people on the project, including contractors and employees. This will be ramping up to about 1,000 people by year end as we deliver our camp. And local employment is very important to us. We want to encourage the employment in the region. So we have about 52% coming from our nearby communities, which is nice to see that everyone is looking for work in this region and wanting to be part of this company. We've started our activities in the pit, in our starter pit, with a contractor setting it up for our mining equipment that will be moving in there essentially this month. So during the pre-production period, we'll stockpile up to 2.4 million tons of ore, which is about 6 months of mill feed, so giving us lots of flexibility when we start the mill up. The project is in the state of Pará, as I mentioned. We're about 108 kilometers off the main highway. So we've made various upgrades to our access road, built bridges to cross various stream crossings. So the site is very accessible. We bring people and materials and equipment in very easily. Safety is very important to us. We've already been constructing, so installing and storing a great safety culture is very important for us. We've had no LTIs to date, and we're looking to keep it this way. Our construction schedule is such that we're aiming to be in the heavy construction next year with the process plant and our infrastructure, and looking to be in the commissioning phase in the second quarter of 24, with commercial production scheduled in the second half of 2024. We are constructing a transmission line to connect into the national grid. This will provide us with essentially cheap power, but also power that's clean, with about 80% being from renewable sources. So this will give us a very low carbon footprint, only requiring fuel for our mine fleet, but given our low strip ratio and good grade, ranks us in the bottom of the curve in terms of various producers. The social aspect is really the one that we try to focus on, doing projects within our local communities to help improve their standard of living, so contributing to education projects, healthcare, and infrastructure projects. It goes a long way and is very appreciative from our local communities. So we inherit essentially a 2 million ounce reserves to start, which gives us 10.5 years of mine life. We've done some drilling on the property already and are now looking to expand beyond the current known pit, looking for additional deposits on this land package. There's only been 83,000 meters of drilling in the past, which is very little for the size of this land package, which is essentially 966 square kilometers. So we expect to find additional deposits on a land package of this scale. As you can see, we have this main structural trend, northwest-southeast, that lights up in terms of the soil geochem coverage that we do have, but we're actually lacking a lot of soil geochem sampling on the overall land package. So we'll be looking to complete that next year to generate additional drill targets for us. So just quickly, we're finding ourselves really in the bottom of the Lassonde curve, where we see the sweet spot to creating value with this asset, getting it into commercial production, and going through the re-rating that we typically see from the PNAV multiples that you see in the developer space, and then the typically much higher multiples you see for producers. So we see a nice re-rate through us executing on this project and delivering as expected. We're one of the very few projects out there that is of meaningful scale, not owned by the producers, that is permitted and funded. And so we see ourselves very uniquely positioned in the gold industry. Our shareholder structure is very tight. We have La Mancha that came in at 25%, Eldorado at 17.7%, Franco at 10%, management and board at 7.8%, so very much aligned with our shareholders. And so at an enterprise value of 80 million for 2 million ounce reserve that's fully funded and in construction, we feel this is a great entry point for new investors. The private placement that we did as part of our project financing was at 80 cents, and we're currently trading around 70 cents. So definitely a great entry point for new investors. So like I said, not very many companies at our stage are moving through the project development phase as quickly as we are, and so we see a lot of value in us growing this business. And we'll be looking for other assets as well to start building a pipeline of projects to develop over time. Thanks.